Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience. What are you struggling with? What's going on with your health? What's going on with your life? That's what this show's about. We want to help you get to the next level. Why be stuck where you are when you've got diabetes or high blood pressure or maybe chronic kidney disease and they're telling you you're going to have to go on dialysis? I mean, really? Are you just going to sit back and take it? Or are you going to step up and fight? Are you going to come up with a new lifestyle plan? Are you going to do everything you can to live your potential? That's what it's all about. Our potential is what we have unlimited potential. We're not even tapping into a fraction of it. And I believe we have so much more inside of us where we can reach our potential. And the show's all about that. So phone lines are open. Give us a call, 888-283-7272, or go to the website and check us out there, asarx.com. So great to be with you. It always is. Janet in Winston-Salem sent an email that says, my husband is an Iraq vet. Thank you for that, for sure. Who's dealing with PTSD. Appreciate that service, man. That's a big deal, PTSD. A lot of guys and gals get it. They do. And they've been in combat or been around the combat. It's a big deal. So he's been living with it for a couple of years, but it seems to be getting worse. He can't sleep at night because of the nightmares. I can only imagine. So what do you do? Well, in a situation like this, you really have to look at a couple things. I mean, there is, and again, I don't know his whole story, Janet, so I don't know what he's seen. I don't know what he's walked through. I don't know what he's been through. And so there's the conscious mind and there's the subconscious mind, right? So the conscious mind, subconscious, they work hand in hand, but it's tough because with PTSD, so much of it is working on out of the subconscious. And the things that have been kind of programmed in him based on the things he's been around and his experiences. So that really lays down a foundation for all that he has going on. And that's first and foremost. Second thing you want to look at, and it's really important, is from a nutritional standpoint, there's several things he can do. Because with nightmares, a lot of times you've got high levels of certain amino acids that can trigger some of the nightmares. Like, for example, L-arginine, which is normally supposed to be good for us. It increases growth hormone levels, and it can help with nitric oxide and others, which is good for heart health and really good for overall health. But sometimes if you've got a high level of that, it can trigger nightmares. So again, there can be nutritional reasons for that, but many times the nightmares have to do with what's going on deep down in the subconscious. So counseling, of course, I'm sure hopefully he's done that. You said dealing with it. I'm sure he's had some level of counseling. If not, I would encourage you to get that. Talking about whatever's deep down, it's just why therapy's good. And some people think it's weird and only sissies need to get therapy. But the reality is that until you process that and you release it, see, a lot of times that's why prayer is so powerful. If you're a believer or or whatever faith you're in, if that faith practice is prayer, there's a reason for that, because you're releasing things out of you when you're talking to God or whatever you practice. There's power in prayer. One, because of course, in my opinion, and of course what the Bible says, which is what I agree with personally, there's power in that because God listens, right? He hears us. And that's my belief in it. Well, scientifically, if you just want to go straight science and leave all the faith in Jesus out of it, which is cool, because I'm here to do that too. I'm here to tell you about it. And science will say that when we speak things and our subconscious hears it, that it releases that. It can actually release that from our minds, release that from our spirit, release it from our body, and increase health. So there's a scientific reason why prayer and confessions or meditation or speaking things, it really does work, and it's powerful. So I would just getting around someone, third party, right, like a counselor that he can build trust with, and begin to talk about things, just releasing that by speaking about it, by talking about it, by about bringing it to the surface. There's so much healing in that. And I would encourage you to have him do that. And if he's done it, do it again, because it's still there. I mean, the guy's not sleeping. He's having nightmares. So, yes, nutritionally, there's a lot you can do. Yes, you want to get him on a really good eating plan. I would get him involved in some level of a provider-guided, personalized nutrition. Don't just blindly go after it, like just doing what the food pyramid says and that's it. You in this situation, he really has to get into a position where he is really building up his system and clearing things out. So you've got to know where the weak areas are and where the strong areas are with a guy like that. And that's how you build a good, solid foundation. So I would do that, follow in those steps, get someone to walk with you in that process, figure out what the deficiencies are, and then build the body up stronger, because he will be stronger. And once you dig into all this, I mean, the emotional piece of our health is huge. I mean, it's a big, big part, and we don't tackle it enough. I think that it's really left behind a lot. We go so much for what's in front of us and what we can tangibly see versus what's deep down on the inside of someone, because that's where a lot of the challenges really do lie. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website, go to asarx.com. Now, also, if you haven't signed up or subscribed to the podcast, you need to. Why have you not done that yet? So our podcast is, of course, every single day. A lot of people just release podcasts once a week. Hey, we put out content every single day. So check it out, the Asa Rx Experience. You can find it anywhere, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Pandora. All of those places carry it. Even SoundCloud. So we're on all the outlets. So look for it, the Asa Rx Experience. Brand new information every single day, great content and interviews. I've got a lot of special interviews you won't hear here on the show that I've done just for the podcast. And so you can find those there. A lot of deep dives with some celebrities, sports figures, and people of influence that really have brought a lot of value to the world and are getting close, maybe scratching the surface, they might tell you, to live in their potential. So that's what it's all about. So catch that out. Catch it on the podcast. I'm going to jump in just a moment. I see you waiting on the phones. Hang tight. We're going into a break. And we're going to knock out some calls with you in just a moment. But I want to talk about tobacco use. We're going to talk about that in just a moment as well. It's amazing to me that people still smoke. It really is. With all the knowledge that we have, and I know vaping is the cool thing now, and it's kind of taken its place. But at the end of the day, it's still nicotine, right? And it's addiction, and it's a heavy addiction. And a lot of people struggle with it. I mean, the tobacco industry is taking a hit. But at the end of the day, it's still, whether you're vaping or smoking, still the same concept. And I just want to get into some stats on that and what's happening in our world with it, how it's transitioned, and what we're doing moving forward to clean that up a little bit. We'll be right back. More Healthy Talk Radio. Don't go anywhere. Go to asarx.com. Did you know that you can listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
To find out more, connect with On Call Radio online at InShapeNetwork.com.
Welcome back to the show, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. So glad you're with us. Check us out on the web. Go to asarx.com. Let's kick over on the phones. I know you've been waiting on us. Let's go to Virginia. Hi, Virginia.
I have a lot of chronic issue of pain. I got fibromyalgia. I got arthrosis, rheumatoid arthritis. I got spinal disease. I got ball joint. I got balls on my spine. I got spinal disease. I got fibromyalgia right through my whole body. And, I have a medical doctor, and I don't know. I was just hoping, and I take injections and methotrax for injections. I go every week for that. And I have severe chronic back spasms.
Okay. So it's kind of like, I get it. Okay. A lot going on. So step back for just a moment with me, Virginia, and look at it like this. Yes, you've got all these different conditions. And many times one thing can lead into another, right? One thing can trickle over into another. You get on several medications and you feel like it's just another medication and another one. And here it comes. And, oh, I deserve it. And I don't deserve this, but it's coming my way. And I guess these are just the cards that I have, right? I can hear it in your voice. And I want to tell you that you don't have to stay where you are. Like, even though you've got, as they've diagnosed you with spinal disease, like everybody that ages has spinal degeneration. So don't take that as like, oh my gosh, you know, it's awful and your life's over. It's not. So the first thing is your mindset. The first thing is to realize that you have a lot of life left to live. You've been given gifts and talents and abilities, and you want to use that. And the key is to live your potential with where you are right now. You know, I always say, if you do what you can with what you have where you are, if you do what you can with you have where you are, like, we're not complaining, we're taking what we have, maybe diagnosed with a few things, maybe taking some medication, things may hurt a little bit, or things may not work the way they did 10 years ago. Okay, if you do what you can with what you have where you are, God will increase what you have. I really believe this, and he won't leave you where you are. Some people say life, okay, and that's fine too. However you want to pitch that. But you need to understand that it's amazing how life works. It's amazing how you really can make some changes. And so for you, I would do this. There really needs to be a global shifting of your mindset, number one. And I got to tell you, I'm being straight with you, okay? No sugarcoating. This is not sugar. I don't like sugar, right? You know, we got enough sugar everywhere in our diet, everywhere else. So last thing you're going to get from me is sugar, no sugarcoating. So you have to have a global shift, all right? Your eating habits, your exercise habits, your mindset, all of that has to be completely different now than it was yesterday. And I know it's a process. I get it. But let's start here, okay? You get a copy of my book. Matter of fact, you can get a free copy of my book if you go to the website. Go to asarx.com. You'll see where it says get a free book. I give you the hardback cover or best-selling book for free. You cover a little bit of shipping cost just to get it to you. So you pay to get it to you. I give it to you for free, all right? It's a pretty good deal. So go there and get the book and look, just follow, just read through it. You'll be encouraged. It'll teach you everything about health that you ever wanted to know from A to Z. I mean, it is extremely comprehensive. And once you learn that and start studying that, it's got a great diet in it, eating plan. It's called the anti-inflammatory diet. It's easy to follow, very, very simple, and will encourage you. It'll help you. It'll push you, and it'll lay a foundation for you, because you have to cut the inflammation out first. I mean, that is first. You have to do it. Like, that is a key, because you start thinking about, oh, my spine hurts. Oh, my big toe hurts. Oh, there's all kinds of conditions, and from diabetes to heart issues, the whole 9 yards. All of that roots back to an inflammatory condition, typically in the gut. And all that roots back to you not breaking down your foods effectively, not getting the nutrition that you need out of your foods. See, all that's important. All that plays a role. And until that gets corrected, then you're going to be struggling. Until that gets corrected, you're going to be doing exactly what you're doing now. So I would encourage you, first and foremost, to get started. No one is going to take responsibility for your health but you. No one's going to take responsibility for your life for you except you. I mean, you have to take responsibility for your health. And once you do that, then you'll begin to notice huge, huge changes. Okay, thanks for the call. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website. Go to asarx.com. Now, 1 in 4 U.S. adults and 1 in teens still use tobacco. Like, how is that even possible? It just blows me away. I mean, now they've moved. There's no smoking in restaurants at all anywhere, right? Which I just I'm so grateful for that. And now in the airports, it's so funny. They've got these little smoke rooms. You've seen them, like in Atlanta. It's unbelievable. I go through Atlanta all the time, and I love it. I used to live in Atlanta for years, but in the airport, they get these little smoke rooms. They've got it in Dallas too, Dallas DFW. It's great. You see in there, they hop in there, they're vaping, they're doing their smoking, they're just puffing away at it. I don't get it. I don't. So with all that we know, with as dangerous as it is, with the side effects that it has, with all the cancer that it's produced, we still do it. It's crazy. So many American adults, teens, they still use tobacco. Researchers looked at this. Check this out. 46,000 people, and they found that 28% of American adults currently use some form of tobacco, while 9% of teens said they used tobacco recently. We know with certainty, they said in the study, that cigarette smoking is incredibly harmful. Lead researcher Andrew Hyland, he's the chairman at the Roswell Park Cancer Institute in New York. Cigarette smoking is responsible for 480,000 deaths in the U.S. each and every year. And e-cigarettes now have kicked in to be the most popular between 18 and 24-year-olds. But yet still, it's become the gold standard. Gregory Connolly of the American Vaping Association said the findings have been available for 2 years or longer. They know now that the effects have been detrimental. So we got to do more, I think, to impact this area. Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
To find out more, visit the show online, InShapeNetwork.com.
Welcome back to the show, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. What are you struggling with? Let's talk about it. Your health, your life. Remember, if the body can get sick, it can also get well. Lifestyle is our medicine. The choices we make every single day can and will determine the kind of health we're going to have. And that really is the key. I mean, the questions that you have about anything to do with your health really comes down to choices. So whatever you decide to do, remember that your choices are going to make the bigger impact in your health more than anything else. Let's get over on the phones and talk to Terry. Hi, Terry.
You had mentioned that at night people have a lot of craving for sweets and all the junk, all the bad stuff. Mm-hmm. And I just was so excited to hear you say that because I kind of thought I was alone in that. I know other people have their cravings and whatnot. Mine was worse than other people's. And I've heard people say things like, well, if you're craving something, it's because your body wants that, your body needs that. Well, there's no way in the world my body is in need of a ice cream or a donut or something like that. So I just kind of wanted to know, what's the cause of that? What's the reason for that? I've been working really hard on changing my health habits. I want to stick around. I have an 8-year-old. I want to see his life out, you know. I want to enjoy that, and I need to get rid of these cravings. What's the deal? I have these late night sweet cravings.
So one of the big keys you got to look at, and I'll tell you, it's a big deal. The sweet cravings come down, and this is something that, like I said, many people struggle with it. A lot of times it's a buildup of yeast in the digestive tract, okay? Because if you eat sugar over and over again or processed carbohydrates, breads, pastas, cereals, crackers, over time, you'll notice that as you eat them, you crave them more. You'll notice as you eat those kind of carbohydrates that your body just tends to get hungrier. Like you could eat a bowl of pasta, be full, and 2 hours later be starving, right? Like you're like, oh my gosh, I could eat a house. And that's how a lot of people gain weight. That's how people become obese, is because of that factor right there. Because the insulin, which is a hormone, right, it goes up and down. And the more it goes up and down, higher and the lower, the more we can increase a lot of our hunger pangs that happen. So the sweet cravings come down to a higher carbohydrate diet and then also a buildup of yeast. So the yeast has to be cleared out of the digestive tract. Now, most evidence-based medicine doesn't really agree with that. That's more of an alternative or complementary medicine thought or mindset. But, I mean, you can clearly, from a clinical practice perspective, not from some double-blind study, okay? Because you don't really find that. That's definitely more of a naturopathic type mindset in practice. But we know that yeast can impact for sure and cause these kind of sweet cravings. So you can test it. I mean, get with a provider that works with you on that. If you cut out most of the inflammatory foods, and if you cut out all the processed carbohydrates and cut out sugars, many times the body will kind of kill off if there is any yeast in there, it'll get rid of it. But I mean, the biggest thing is just go more with proteins, vegetables, and healthy fats like almonds, walnuts, cashews, avocados. I mean, you can eat carbohydrates. It's not like you got to go keto. That you really don't. I mean, you can have plenty of carbohydrates, but get them in vegetables. Don't do a lot of fruits, because here the fruit, again, the fructose sugar is really not going to be super helpful when you're dealing with what you're dealing with. So it's really a matter of getting the right kind of foods in. Fats are great, though. Fats will really cut down on those cravings that you have. So proteins, chicken, fish, beef, or eggs, and then the lower glycemic carbs, vegetables, and even things like peas and beans, those are great because they're very low glycemic. And then your healthy fats, so almonds, walnuts, cashews, avocados, macadamia nuts, those. And just so you know, my two favorites when it comes to fats, I have kind of a trio. I like cooking with coconut oil. It's my favorite. Not that I cook a lot. And the other is I really, really like avocados. Huge avocado fan. And macadamia nuts. Those fats are really some of the best. Those have been shown to not impact hormone levels in a negative way. Some nuts can throw off your omega-3, 6, and 9 fatty acid balance. When you do that, it can impact certain hormone levels, right? So the macadamia nuts and avocados are this monounsaturated fat, but they're really clean, and they actually have been shown to improve testosterone levels and our anabolic type hormones that are in our bodies for men and women both. So for the anti-aging cycle, they work really well, and that's something to completely look at. It can make a big difference in all that you do. So I would look at that from the craving perspective. And again, following the anti-inflammatory diet, get a copy of my book. It's free. I send it to you for free. It's hardback. It's our international best-selling book. You go to the website, go to asarx.com, go to myfreehealthbook.com, myfreehealthbook.com, and you can check it out there. And, you know, that's the key. I mean, we want to get it to you. We really do. We want you to have the tools that you need. But it all comes down to eating things like equal amounts of lean protein sources like chicken, fish, beef, or eggs, low glycemic carbohydrates in the fruits and vegetables, but more on the vegetables, and then healthy fats, almonds, walnuts, cashews, avocados, macadamia nuts. Those are my favorite. And really, when you get balanced with your approach of eating, that helps. Now, you can jump into supplements, and you could do things like wormwood, and you can do things that clear out the yeast. Apple cider vinegar is really helpful in that category. Black walnut's good. Wormwood. I mean, I could go on and on and on. Herbs, yes. But it's your day-to-day that really matters. It's your day-to-day that's going to help. Probiotics are great. You should be doing those every day. That's part of my foundational 4. When the probiotic levels are high and balanced in the gut, then the whole yeast issue has a hard time being facilitated. So it's about being proactive. That's what this whole thing is about, and not being reactive. We're reactive too many times in life about everything. So we need to stand firm and be proactive, and then that's where we're going to get a lot of the great success from, and that's where we really begin to win, because it's all about winning, right? It's all about winning. It's all about getting your body to where you want so you can live your potential. That's what this whole deal is about. So thanks so much for the call. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call. Go to the website. Go to asarx.com. Hey, if you don't have and subscribe to the podcast, definitely do that. The Asa Rx Experience, it's on everywhere. I mean, you go Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, and we put out a brand new podcast every single day. 7 days a week, you're going to get an upload from us, whether it's a new celebrity interview or a sports figure, or maybe a rant that I went on for that day. Maybe something, me tackling something like diabetes and going into heavy detail. You want me to go into a deep dive with this sort of thing? I can do it. That's what I do. So we put this content out there for you to really be able to help you, encourage you, equip you, and give you the tools that you need so that you can do well. We want to see you live your potential. This show's all about that. You know, it's all about you living your potential. It's all about you getting to that next level. It's all about you being the best version of you. That's what I want to see. I want to see you be the best version of you ever. So that's what we want to focus on. All right. 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website. Go to asarx.com. Let's get on the phone and go to Alexa. Hi, Alexa.
Hey, I have thyroid issues and I've got neck gland problems that my glands swell up at different times. And I just wondering, what can I do to help prevent this neck gland problem? Or is there anything I can do when my ear glands are acting up and my ears hurt so bad?
So your thyroid issue and the glands themselves, two different things. And you're really, they're two different things, but they kind of interrelate with each other. Because when the thyroid is not working the way it needs to, there's something deficient in the body. There's something that it's not getting. There's something that's just not working the best. And that's what I would do is I would really step back and say, okay, if the thyroid is not working, but you also have the glands that are getting swollen. So it sounds like there's something going on with the immune system. I would have them check, your physicians, if they haven't already, for a potential autoimmune condition called Hashimoto's thyroiditis. They can do some simple blood tests. They can find and rule in and rule out of that. But the immune system sounds like it's being affected in some way. Because if you get the swelling going on, that's a pretty strong indicator and pretty strong potential that could be happening. And it can be something simple as building your immune system up, and that begins to help. You can have things like vitamin D issues that could be literally causing that issue, causing that area to swell and to be irritated. I mean, it comes down to several. That's why the lab work, we're huge on labs. So in our company, Potential, which is a doctor, provider guided, personalized nutrition company, that's we hang everything on the labs. Everything rises and falls on the numbers. So many times you can find the root cause of what's happening with something if you can get detailed enough about it. I mean, that's the ultimate key. So it really is about getting down to the details. So with the thyroid, of course, you're getting blood work done to have that maintained and checked. So you look at T3, T4, TSH, and they're getting those balanced. That's great. But there's so many things naturally you can do to balance those. And the medications is helpful for a while, but you don't want to have to do that forever, even though they tell you will. Now, if you have the thyroid removed, that's a whole different animal. But there's such great natural methods now to work on the thyroid. The biggest thing is you got to figure out what's really the primary driver. And many times you're going to find the hypothalamus and the anterior pituitary gland to be more the drivers. Thyroid's usually secondary or tertiary on the whole scale. It really isn't kind of the core of everything, even though it is the core of everything, because it's your best feel-good gland that we have and really controls our overall well-being. 888-283-7272. Give us a call. We'll be right back with more Asa Rx. Did you know that you can listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
Triple 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Welcome back to the show. So glad you're with us. Each and every day we're here for you. Listen, if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, do that. It's called the Asa Rx Experience Podcast, and you can easily join on there, and we've got content every single day. Brand new show goes up every single day. You get a show of the radio hour. You can catch what happened here on the show. You need to go back and listen to something again and again. Plus, I've got special interviews and original content that we put inside of there. And it really becomes a go-to place for you to get the kind of healthy information that you need to live a healthy lifestyle and to live the life that you deserve. Because, listen, you were designed to live an amazing life. And no one can take responsibility for your life but you. And on this show, we want to help you just to play a small little role in that and get you to the next level with your health and life. 888-283-7272. Let's get on the phones and talk to Virginia. Hi, Virginia.
I'm suffering from congestive heart failure. As I lay down, I begin to panic because it seems as if I am drowning, and I don't know how to deal with that. Anyway, and I'd like to know if there's something that I can do at home to keep this from continuing to happen.
All right. First of all, one thing I want to tell you is that doing something from home, yeah, there's some things you can do, but the number one issue here, like the number one, is having a great medical team that you see regularly. Because see, what happens is in something like this, like you have these kind of symptoms, and maybe you go see your doctor, like the scheduled visits, which is fine, but then you start freaking out because all of a sudden you feel like you're drowning, right? Well, that's a pretty strong indicator of this whole congestive heart failure issue. And that's like gold standard. That's like textbook. So with a fluid buildup. And what do you do at home? Well, number one is you've got to have, your medical team's got to have an amazing game plan for you. If you don't have someone doing the nutritional part, don't just go wing it and don't go read some diet book, okay? Don't do that. You really need to have a physician or a doctor-guided, personalized nutrition provider to walk with you in this. It's got to be based on labs, got to be based on the details. It can't be blind. It can't just be guessing. You got to take all of that guesswork out of it. It's got to be strategic, right? Anytime you're strategic about anything, it makes a difference. So it has to be strategic. I want to encourage you to do that. So first and foremost, make sure that you got a good game plan. Now, that being said, one other issue to look at and one key to look at is making sure, and I mean making sure, that you've got some level, whatever they're going to let you do, your medical team, of exercise routine. And it can be extremely low intensity, whatever it is, but get the body moving. And it's more than anything for the lymphatic system, okay? And even if it's mini trampoline or something very basic, whatever, but you've got to have a good game plan. Somebody has to be laying out a good strategy for exercise in your overall lifestyle routine. Has to. Somebody has to do that. So those are kind of like when you say, what can I do at home? It's not like take this herb and the congestive heart failure is going to just go away. Now, I'll tell you that your eating habits, making sure you're doing an anti-inflammatory diet, which is in my book. By the way, you get my book for free, hardback copy. If you go to the website, go to myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com, and you can pick up a copy of that. But that's really the first and foremost thing that you want to start with, is getting a good eating strategy together so that you can build up your overall game plan. That's where I would start. Okay? That's really the overall picture of where you need to go. And once you get that laid out, then you'll be able to be successful, because it's not just this long drawn out process. It's not just a bunch of medicine and doctor visits. It is about what you do every single day, but it starts with your daily lifestyle. Like even with congestive heart failure, it's about living your potential. It's about taking what you have, right, and maximizing what you do have. It's not about what you lost. It's about what you have. So the mindset is you look at it from that point and then you move forward. And that's the ultimate key to being successful, okay? But keep me posted. I mean, there are things, obviously, things like CoQ10 and a good, really good solid vitamin B6 and B5, whole food-based supplement. Those are great, but you've got to eat tons of greens, like tons of greens and tons of beans, greens, and berries. Those are the golden three. You get those in on a regular basis. It's like makes your body unstoppable. So those are the ones you want to eat on a regular basis, all right? And as you add those in, and as you make an impact with that, and as you eat the right kind of foods every single day, that's how you start to win this battle. And the battle's not won on these huge battlefields. The battle's won in those details that you do every single day. It's won in the practice of what you do, okay? Keep me posted. Thanks for the call. 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website, asarx.com. What about mold? Moldy homes can mean more asthma. I know I had a ton of allergies when I was a kid. And children appear more likely to develop asthma if their living rooms, kitchens, or bedrooms have mold moisture damage, or other, according to a new study, children were most susceptible to developing asthma with mold exposure during the first 2 years of life. Hey, let me say this to you. If you have kids that have chronic allergies or asthma and it never goes away, don't just think they've got some weird genetic thing. Go get your house tested for mold immediately. Burn the thing down if you have to. I know that sounds harsh, but whatever you got to do to get away from the mold, like if you're living in the mold, not good. Like, you may love the house, I got it. You may love the bedroom and the kitchen, the living room. It's all decorated perfect. But if you've got mold everywhere and they can't come in and clean it out, which many times if it depends on the level, then get a new place. Because it's not worth it what it's going to do to your kids. The asthma increases rapidly for kids and turns into severe allergies and even more, and they'll be on medications forever. And the weird thing is, many people have this going on in their home. They're giving their kids meds, and it's just a big cycle. So that has to change for sure. Puts another hour in the charts. I want to thank our producers, Mr. Fig, Derek Allen, and John Garrison, our chief engineer. Here's the deal. Go tell one person something you learned on the show. Together, we can transform the health of our friends, our families, and our communities. You're listening to the show that helps you live your potential. This is Asa Rx.
Did you know you could listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the Asa Rx audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.